was exciting, regardless of the outcome of that. It sounds like we got an exciting game number 2 on our hands. Before we get to the actual game, though, we're going to head over to the stage where Slax is with Coach Bulk.
Prepare for battle.
I just woke up. Leave me alone.
I gambled. You lost.
Thirty seconds to battle.
All hell's broken loose.
Here we go, getting into the action of Game 2 right now between Falcons and BB Team. Fog, that Game 1, it was a rough one for BB Team. Coming into this, what are sort of the key takeaways and what they've changed up and what they're going to try and take a game off Falcons this time around with?
More team fight in general. I think last one quickly, especially once those first 2 team fights kind of kicked off, the game was quickly decided. So I think they've, at least on the 2 support fronts, tried to fix that. Also, not having this quad ranged. They do have the secondary melee this time around, so maybe that'll help them fight a little bit earlier. But overall, I would say just, more team fighting in particular. But maybe could be a bit of a greedy approach here with the Storm, the Doom, and the Medusa together in this lineup. Can be a little bit cooldown oriented. While on Falcons, it's fast paced. Tons of nukes. Every single hero has like a double nuke in particular. DK, Hoodwink, Mirana, Centaur, Razor. It's a lot of burst damage.
Yeah, I mean, across the board as well. Is it a similar setup in which BB Team should get a chance to get that early lead once again that they got in Game 1? Or do you think it's going to be a bit harder this time?
It does feel like it'll be a little bit harder this time. This time they have this Hoodwink and Centaur, which is a very oppressive lane up top. I think they were pretty oppressive anyway. But overall, I would say, quite a bit harder. Bottom also, this one does feel a little bit safer, I would say, from Falcons, just with Snake playing his very comfortable Mirana. But this is probably the one that I'm going to be looking at. It's always Miero and Save to be able to get these first bloods, so that's probably the one they'll get maybe an advantage in. But I think Falcons, they've drafted stronger lanes this time than last time, and a very strong, stable draft that they're very comfortable with. You can see the Grandmaster tiers and Master tiers across the board on their heroes.
We'll see how because of the mid lane matchup, we obviously got the Marine Razor coming in late on the draft. Up against this Storm, how well can GPK do against this in this 1v1? Obviously nowadays you have the static slide with the Remnant to help you in these range situations, but is the harassment of the Razors just too much?
It is, this is a great lane for the Razor. He can always play great versus Storm because you have that same movement speed, so you're gonna get the links off. It's very difficult as a Storm to prevent a link in pretty much every single scenario, and looking at least across the board of these 3 lanes right now, it's looking pretty hot for Falcons on the first few waves.
I'll see how well GPK is able to do against this pressure. I mean, the plasma field, the static
he might get him
link.
here.
One more tick at the static link. He's gone. First blood for Maori. Won't be able to keep himself alive, but he won't mind a refuel.
I think he's suicided.
Anyway, indeed. He's happy to go down there. But just going to show that this mid lane matchup, it's not going to be a fun one for GPK.
And it's just a couple denies that really make the difference there. Hits the level 3, immediately pushes forward, gets the bottle. It's pretty much everything hitting synergy at the same exact time for Maori and really pushing the limits of his hero. Hitting level 3, getting the bottle, instant dive onto GPK. Bottom lane is also going. I saw they're getting decent harassment onto Skeeter. Now he's reset back full. Doom has 3 CS.
Oh.
Mero is not getting too much.
But now he's
here
got 4.
either. Now he's got 4, but.
Well, indeed, not great on these first few waves. But you say something on paper, you don't expect to be that rough for the Doom on the first few waves.
No, not in particular on the CS. Usually you do see Mero get majority of them there, but I guess they were more focused in trying to just push out the harassment. I think they almost used all the regen until Snaken got his second set of tangos, but either way, it's a DK. He's able to self-sustain anyway. So see how they're going to be able to do on those last hits. And top, this is the one that the Medusa is doing a lot better in, but this is a lane where kills can constantly happen.
And overall, how strong is the Deuce this game?
Radiance.
It's okay. The issue is just the Razor kind of. That's going to be his target to link in every single one of these team fights, right? So GPK.
He's going to need some TPs. Yeah, a couple of TPs were threatened there to make sure the Marine doesn't dive in for that.
I'm not too sure about the Deucer because, yeah, the
chill guys, you know, he saw those TPs come in and he's like, you know, it's going to be a 1v1. You know, why you're adding extra backup in? I mean, they might still get GPK.
GPK?
They will.
Oh, boy, Owen. They're putting the pressure on him right from the start. Malrine popped off in that last game.
Yep.
And this one already having this beautiful start. And to talk about the Razor, so you were mentioning about the Medusa. The Medusa can look good if she's not getting linked constantly. But this is a lineup that can be kind of difficult to prevent that link. Yes, you'll have Cookie to at least distance a little bit, and you have some stuns and everything, but Medusa is very slow.
Yeah, and I feel like the Centaur really adds another issue into the mix for the Medusa, right? You've got that Stampede, so you can very easily choose when you want to get in, keep everyone on top of the Medusa, and when you want to back off and get away during a Stone Gaze.
And this is a game where Amar is going to absolutely free farm. It's a Centaur versus an ET Medusa lane. There's almost no way for them to put pressure on him unless a third, potentially even 4th hero or something comes up.
Oh, pre-level 6, this is not going to be an easy time for GPK.
Hey, Crit.
He's looking to start something here. See, is there any way GPK can keep himself alive under the tower? I don't think so. There's going to be another plasma field coming in the second as Marine
He's
ready
again.
with the next nuke to take him out once more. I don't think he can come back to the mid lane, Fog.
To the jungle you go. It does feel like he has to. And this is a really smart play from Crit. He's like, my Centaur is not touch top. He's gone the Retaliate build, triple bracer even. He can make the moves around to do this. GPK needs help. Stack away. I think Toronto Tokyo has to start getting some of these at the least ready for this Storm Spirit to catch up.
Snaking, he might be able to kill Savior. He's got another leap and a Starstorm in a second.
He should just have him here.
He's playing careful. Doesn't want to dive in. So Save will survive. Actually, maybe turn their efforts towards Mira instead, but he's a little too beefy for the two to take down. So
they're bullying these lanes. These two in particular.
The farm. I mean, we talk about GPK dying in the mid, but continuing from what we saw earlier, this bottom lane, that's where the suffering's the highest. Only 11 CS still on Miro.
He has to buy salves also just to stay down here. Has to buy the raindrop as well. These lanes, they're absolutely getting dominated here from Falcons. Only the Medusa doing well, and we'll see what Saika is going to be able to do to get involved with that, because it's not really usually him with BBT that looks to get involved early on to fix things. It's usually GPK or Miro or one of the supports to kind of bring things back after a potentially bad laning phase. It's usually not Nightfall, usually not Saika for this lineup. So yeah, just defend the stacks. So you see GPK, he's trying to get that level 6 as fast as possible. Toronto Tokyo is going to soak the mid lane, but you can see Crit and Malrine, they're looking to pressure this tower with this catapult wave and the 6-minute power rune.
Bottom lane. Trying to go aggressive onto Skeeter here. Can the two of them have enough burst to take him down? They don't. Skeeter's able to walk it off. Tango over to him, and they just don't have the burst to really 100-0 this DK between the two of them. It's going to take more from BB team if they want to try and get these early kills in the side lanes.
I do like at least they recognized at least the issue that was going on massively, right? Storm's jungle is catching back up. Toronto Tokyo actually dragged the mid wave, so the first catapult did only 150 damage. So all things considered, a little decent adjustment that they have done for now. Crit, though, is going to be stalking GPK, of course. GPK still not quite 6.
Needs a couple more creep camps to get that 6 online.
So just going to open up opportunities for what Malrine wants to do with this Razor.
Save. Is there any way for him to break away from this? The cookie. It's not going to get him far enough away.
The wisdom rune.
Oh, Malrine's going straight for a centipede set for snaking, and the TPs are coming in. So BB team might be able to secure it for themselves. Toronto Tokyo, who's going to get the pick up first?
He gets it.
He does indeed. Toronto Tokyo making sure that doesn't fall into the hands of Falcons, and Malrine just continue to clean up on the map. This is, for someone's debut performance on the main stage at International, it's looking pretty good for Malrine.
He's not feeling the pressure at all. If anything, he's thriving off of it.
He's looking better than ever.
Yeah.
enough of these games.
Absolutely dominating from the start, now making these early rotations. Bottom tower now also getting pressured. They have this catapult down here. It's not level 6 on the DK, but they have to address this as well. And it's a lot of bleeding happening quite early on that they need to address all over the place. On top of a Centaur free farming. Yes, Syke is farming, but the other two lanes are devastating at this point.
That's if you think, 7 minutes into game 1, I think we saw what BB team, they had like a 2K net worth lead, and we saw how rough that game ended up. This time, it's gone the other way. So if they couldn't do it with the early lead they had in game 1, what are they going to do here in game 2?
It's a good question. Supports need to get levels. That's going to be the thing in particular. I think Save needs to get his level 6 pretty early on. They're going to get involved mid-crit. He should get picked off here.
A little bit of something here for GPK as he tries to get this recovery going. Malorine able to grab the rune in time. He's got an amplified damage rune. They're going to try and get in on top of him.
He's too fast.
That's, yeah, Miro still just level 4 on the Doom. Not really a lot to throw out from him right now.
He is so poor, and that experience is definitely problematic for a lineup that's quite greedy. Level 4 Doom.
I mean, it's rough. I guess this sometimes happens. You know, it is the first pick hero. You do expect it to be dealt with. But it's something about this Doom hero, right? A lot of teams, they really try and make it work, and it just hasn't been working a lot of the times, Fog.
And overall, this hero does want to play from ahead. You know, the innate ability is all about having higher levels. If you're like the lowest level in the game, you're never going to have this extra damage that you can sometimes kick out, which is necessary. So, yeah, we'll see how they get Miro back into the game, because that's going to be a bit of a rough one, especially since GPK is having a tough one also.
And they might just be able to kill him here. They've got the bushwhack set up. Arrow to follow up. Miro, he's going to try and get under the tier 1 tower, but the leap's there from Snaking. He's out of the game, and he's just going to continue to get kept at this incredibly low amount of level and farm at this stage of the game.
This is crazy. This tower's dead. Support's not quite 6 either. Toronto, Tokyo, and Save still haven't hit it, and that's the 2 big damage dealers on the side of BBT in the early game. Besides that, they don't want to bring the Medusa early.
Dire's bottom tower.
And scary for GPK at this point. Yes, he's gotten a little bit caught back up here, but him getting involved, there's so much chain stun. 4 heroes have a stun for him. So very susceptible to get burst if he does make an over-aggressive play. Amar, the Blade Mail is almost finished on top of having Max Retaliate and Quad Bracers. Damage is definitely going to be an issue again this time for BBT, unless these supports start to get these 6s soon.
See what the move's going to be next. Falcons kind of got their eyes on the mid lane. BB team do have the 3 of them here.
Skitter is here, level 7.
So they get the setup with the bushwhack. Can't quite get in with the follow-up angle for a stun. So GPK will be able to break out of it. Maybe fight back. Jumps in over towards Snaking. Snaking's able to get the leap off. They didn't have the damage to kill the Mirana. Now BB team have to be careful. Keep their distance.
Malrine gets the RNG. We'll be able to get that haste rune. An Ogre Club already on him, or Ogre Axe already on him. 1700 HP on Strength Shards. He's going to look for aggressive plays.
He certainly is. Malrine, he's tempted to start diving around this tier 2. He'll hold back.
I mean, Miro is still only level 5 on the Doom. I was like, oh, the only potential for them to really go for Malrine is if the Doom TP's over and Doom's in, but he's still level 5 at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Another tower to fall. They can't hang on to these towers because the level 6s and these lanes have just gone so poorly. These towers, losing them this early with a Medusa lineup and this type of greed, it's devastating.
If they catch Miro out here again, his game's going to get very close to being irrecoverable.
It's almost already at that point, it feels like.
Malrine, he's ready to dance around him here with the static. He won't dive to tier 2 again, though. He's given the respect for the potential backup to be there for BB team, so Miro will live.
This might be the roughest start I've seen from Miro this tournament, actually. Bottom 4 net worth, 2 supports on the side of Falcons already soon to surpass him. And I've just seen Amar do this entire time. He's just dragging waves, maximizing his farm. Yes, Saika's getting farm, but it's not actually at the same pace that the Centaur or the Razor that have been able to do so.
Can this Medusa solo carry a game in this day and age and in this patch?
I don't think 4 Protect 1s have really been looking too much like the dominant strategy lately, but we'll have to see if Saika can do it. They're going to smoke GPK. They have level 6 on save. Now they actually have damage to follow up with the pull.
And they do have the 6 on Miro now.
Okay. Can they find one of these big kills? Malrine in particular would be the best one that they can find, because he is approaching a BKB, which would kind of stop their aggression if they do try to save.
Should find a quick and easy one here. Snaking will take that.
I mean, they actually have to find Malrine before BKB. If they make the move and Malrine has BKB, he might just pop in and be able to turn pretty much everything onto them. So losing save there definitely hurts a little bit of that potential momentum that they could have started going for there. 6K lead up onto Falcons.
That's a crazy advantage. They've played everything perfectly.
And Skitter just goes blink. You know, he knows he can be really aggressive to get the catch onto GPK. He's got the follow-up. If he gets the stun, it's very likely to kill.
Dragons out. They've got the angle with the arrow. Do they have the burst? The bushwhack, the sharp shot? They certainly do. GPK dead again.
Oh, boy. It's too fast-paced. The items are coming out too quick. It's 12 minutes in, Owen. They've got great vision control as well around this area, and with some sneaky wards. Look at this one that they placed right there. I don't think I've seen that one too often, right above crit. So they'll be able to see at least movements that come down, and that one's not going to get de-warded.
Absolutely, that one's going to be there the full duration, 100%.
So whenever you've already gotten the mid tower and the bottom tower, so that's like the avenue to be able to get into these ancients and stuff like that. So they're going to keep tabs of pretty much everything. Slight pause here.
I mean, what is the game plan for BBT? It's got to be looking towards Psyker on the carry, just saying, you know what, guys, Deuce is farming.
I think at this point you might have to start like, I think Gunnar was saying it too, is like this drum build on the Doom is something that people have looked for, but maybe Miro wants to go for just his recovery, this Midas and stuff, but I feel like you're starting to get to the point where you may want to put all your eggs into the Deuce basket, like the Solar Crest, the drums, throw everything possible to amp her up. But I just don't know if she can do it on her own. Versus the Stampede to close the gap with the Razor Link. Right? It's just difficult to say.
You can really buff the Medusa up and have them ready to defend on the high ground when these pushes come in from Falcons. But yeah, Falcons, they're just going to dive in.
Yeah.
Get on top of the Medusa. They're able to stay on top of Psyker with the static link from Maureen. Sure, the Medusa might take a bit of time to take down, but there's not going to be any damage coming out from BBT.
That's the biggest thing, is like, where's the damage really going to come from, especially once Amar is able to get this pipe, and he's getting closer and closer. He is farming up a storm. It's been an absolutely free game for the Centaur, nearly level 11. 2,300, they would have to throw literally everything onto him to kill him, and it might not even work out. He's going to go Blink instead to get more aggressive.
Psyker's got to be careful as well, because Falcons know that Psyker's been farming around this area. So if they show themselves at all, Falcons will go straight for them. Quick TP is indeed down to the bottom lane. I'll try and make a move here instead. BB team, they've got the smokes up, but they're moving towards top. We'll see the Stampy coming in as they look to catch out Miro, and with that jump stun, they'll find the opening, but they won't get the follow-up. The timing not quite there, so Miro able to break away from the combo.
All right, let's see if they can get the Centaur with percent-based damage. If he was maybe further up, perhaps, but not the easiest kill whatsoever. How many TPs are available on the side of Falcons, too? They've got two. So if they do see this play happen,
it feels risky.
They're going to lose a lot of HP potentially going for this. Let's see. Amar?
He's already out. They're going to continue to try and jump in. They've got the kisses coming in.
The splitter's not hitting. He's alive.
He's able to indeed dodge the splitter and now ready for the turnaround. The stomp's not going to connect either. BB team, they try and make something happen, but it's not going smoothly. They've got Psyker moving over as well, as they're desperately trying to find some sort of kill, but they're in with the jump. The stun onto the three of them there. The cookie comes out. Can they actually get a kill? They'll bring Skeeter down.
That's one.
Amar is getting low, but they're dying in return. They've lost two of the BB team. Psyker's going for the TP out. They've got nothing to stop it. So Psyker will get away. GPK. He's been found in the trees. Amar hunts him down. BB team, they came for him, but the backup, the turnaround was there. They get Skeeter. It's something, but it's costing them 3 heroes, and they're just not killing Amar.
No. And I mean, even if the splitter lands, potentially not getting him either. They had to hit absolutely every kiss and the splitter onto this tanky Centaur. He saw it coming. Yeah, Psyker even having to get involved.
Under attack.
And now at this point, Maureen does have the BKB. So before you were able to find him once, he's going to be able to pretty much BKB and just link right past to find the Deuce in a lot of these situations. This game is
check this again.
Very difficult for BBT.
They really went for this. But you see Amar keeping his cool, seeing that splitter coming in straight away. No,
he felt no fear. He felt absolutely no fear.
He was running back in.
He was high-fiving before every spell was even thrown out.
And we see here they surround Skeeter, but of course this gives a beautiful angle for Amar to just come in with this 3-man hoof stomp. And a bit of a miracle, if not anything else, that BB team actually got a kill out of this.
And they get the Wisdom Rune, too. I think if that Stone Gate didn't connect, they all just die and get no kills at all. But this is kind of how they have to play. I think they have to hug GPK with the 2 supports like this and just hope for the best that there's going to be recovery for the Deuce and the Doom. Because if they look to play slow, and if they just slow down too much with these 3, it feels like Falcons is going to scale Tricore. So I want to see these, honestly, continue to be active. Maybe not look for the Centaur in particular this next time, but who do you go for now that the Razor has the BKB? Because that was the other one you wanted to get pre-BKB, but now the Maureen has it. If you don't get the instant chain stun, he's going to be able to survive. Crit. Should be fine up here.
I guess that's the thing as well. They just don't have much chain stun to offer up.
And Miro again.
The angle's there this time round for the arrow to hit. No problem after the Dragon Tail stun.
Oh, this is rough. similar to the last game, but I mean more so, more stompy in particular,
this
because the laning
feels a lot
phase
rougher.
was just an absolute one-sided affair this time from Falcons. And Skitter even getting closer and closer to an Orchid, so they're getting more and more answers for GPK. Already has to deal with 4 different heroes with stuns.
I guess the good news for BB Team, that at least this time round, that the hero that is very farmed is the Medusa, rather than a Nature's Prophet.
Very true.
If there was a hero out of the two that's more likely to have a chance of carrying a game in a comeback, it would be Medusa. He's going to be found by the Who Stomp, and the Dragon Tail's there to follow it up. The Stomp will come out, but not in time to save GPK as Falcons find another.
Stay with the arrow.
The angle. Whoa!
Oh!
He's going to get the connection there along the tree line. Amar's got Blink up in a second, closes the gap. As indeed, off the back of that, a lovely connection from Snake King, they'll get themselves another one. Falcons, 14-4, 9K lead, and we're just 17 minutes in.
Yeah, I would say that the one thing that you're mentioning, though, is like, yes, the one good news you could say for BBT is that their draft is more about scaling toward that later game. In that last draft, it was more about just snowballing everything out of control. So this one, it can scale. Just with this type of deficit on the Doom and Storm, it's hard to see that the Deuce is able to do it on her own. And there's just so much stun, too. Sometimes the Deuce can do better because you're not playing versus so much chain stun and so many anti-carry, but it's just, it is a lot of control. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of build GPK goes as well, having to kind of play this.
Have to go BKB.
I feel like his best use might just be to get the BKB and then just go for the Ags. You know, have some sort of setup that's going to enable the Medusa in these team fights. Because when you're with this sort of far behind as a mid-storm, it feels very unlikely you're ever going to be able to do anything offensive on your own.
I agree. GPK could be in trouble again. The arrow.
Hitting this combo every single time.
It's so easy for them with this type of chain stun, right? One hero shows they have a plethora of ways to follow up with it. BBT's it's a lot harder to execute, a lot more greedy, and Falcons is just taking advantage of it on every single one of these fronts. We see the glyph come out, the ET innate, of course, coming into play. Lots of damage from it, but yeah, they don't really care.
I mean, I guess the question is as well for BB Team, how early can you fit the Divine Rapier on your shopping list if you're Psyker?
You need I mean, maybe after the butterfly, but that's still, it's craziness. This is usually when the Medusa hits the power spike. It's the butterfly manta timing, and then you're able to kind of group up around her, but they're at such a deficit. And it's not like their draft is all physical damage either. It's a ton of magical. It's a ton of just everything across the board. Skitter, Orchids at the ready. And they've got this deep vision down already. Again, too. I mean, sneaky wards. Another kind of sneaky one that Falcons placed that might not also get dewarded. They're keeping tabs of BBT completely. Amar.
They're going to try and make the jump on him, but he gets the play bell off in time, and GPK, he's pretty much jumped in immediately to his death. They will kill off Amar. They're going to get Skeeter as well by looks of it with kisses. So BB Team, they'll absolutely trade GPK for that one. They get 2 big kills in return.
He might just have to be the sacrificial lamb in every single one of these plays.
If they could do that play again, it's going to be brilliant for them. The problem now is they've split back up, and Psyker is being watched here by Snake King and Malrine. They get him with the jump.
Body
Music
blocks.
coming over, indeed. They're controlling him. The Static Link's building up. Save, trying to break him away with the cookie, but Mallory's ready to dive with the BKB. The mana's gone. Psyker's out. Save, also likely to fall. Mallory is falling very low himself, but there's just no one else on BB Team here to punish it. So whilst they do get that 2-for-1 in the mid, it very quickly continues to keep going the way of Falcons as Falcons are able to dive in and find Psyker +1.
Yeah, they have this deep vision, so they see when everybody split up almost immediately, and they don't slow down. They look to make that aggressive play. The highest damage, I think, so far that we saw is BB, that glyph, by the way. That's the ET innate that actually was almost bringing down Malrine. It was actually quite significant there. But ends up surviving again, and they do find that big pick off before the butterfly is finished off.
And the thing is, they were able to make that play at a point where Amar had a lot of his net worth up in the courier. He just got the completed pipe delivered out.
Oh my goodness.
So this was without the pipe in the equation. Now there is a full pipe on the Centaur.
He could just
Unlikely
survive.
you're going to be able to kill him and Skeeter on the DK next time around in that sort of situation with the kisses.
Oh, look at top 2. They have that deep ward that we were talking about from earlier. GPK could be in trouble again. They're getting the full surround.
GPK.
Oh, he spotted him.
Amar knows where he is. There's a little bit more mana to play with. In fact, GPK is going to try and get a kill out of this, but the pipe's out from Amar. He can keep Crypt perfectly safe. GPK cut down once more by Amar with a double edge.
It's been a long time since I've seen these type of games with a mid laner having about half of the deaths of the team. They are putting all the pressure onto poor GPK. 9 of the 19. They are set up to potentially get the 2 wisdom runes, though. So at least one thing going their way here. And Psyker is getting closer and closer toward the butterfly. Level 15's been hit.
Okay.
But it's just him. It really is.
It really is.
Him.
If Psyker manages to successfully carry this game, It's going to be one of the greatest carry performances of all time.
Yep, does feel like that.
It's going to have to be. Now you get the jump. They're ready to catch them here as BB team try and retreat back to the base, but Save is caught outside of it. Falcons, they'll take the Tormentor.
Like if this Medusa, if Psycho was playing like versus this lineup that didn't have this anti-carry Razor or something like that, perhaps I could see more of it. Just there's so much. It's not even just the Razor. I do have to factor in the other thing as well too. Is Breathe Fire. You can never really factor down these anti-kind of carry mechanics that just reduce damage. These things add up in these type of lineups when you are limited on damage already.
For sure. I mean, it feels like the cookie is not going to be enough. We need to see some like force staffs.
Force staffs for sure.
They've got to get some force staffs. If they can sort of set up a fight in which Falcons commit and get the static link onto Cycler and then they're able to break him away, then maybe they can turn around a high ground defense.
Yeah.
But they need these items, and it's going to take a lot of time because at the moment they're just not finding anywhere close to the same amount of resources from the map as Falcons are.
Yeah, Solar Crest, Force Staffs, just try to get anything that you can to amplify him, but yeah, the farm is just coming slow from them. They're not really getting these items built up, and at this point now 12k lead, the supports on the side of Falcons are actually getting these items so much faster too. Crit, Force Staff plus Solar Crest done, Snaking, he's got the drums, Shard, and his bracers, even 2k gold, so can look for maybe another Solar Crest or Vlad's, whatever he wants to go for. Just across the board getting too much. The supports are soon to surpass 2 of the cores. We could see 5 of the top 6 networks be out for Falcons soon if another fight goes their way. They've got a timing though. Butterfly has been finished on Psycho. They have to play around it.
And we are seeing in the team fights, Psycho only dying the once when he was caught on his own. Outside of that, he is doing a fair bit of damage. The damage is coming out with the Deuce, especially now, I should say, next time around with this Butterfly being shown as well. And yeah, also just because of that static link, I guess he can't afford to go for anything other than the Hurricane Pike himself, just so he has that extra range and ability to break away from Mallory's attempts to get on top of him in the team fights.
It makes sense.
And then after that, maybe we'll see something spicy, if they can hold the game out that long.
Yeah. Because looking at the supports, right, you have like almost Greaves on save, but nobody else is really close to that force, so can see why he wants to accelerate it. And Falcons, after commandingly pressuring pretty much the entirety of this game, now they can kind of slow down, finish up a couple of these extra items.
I wouldn't even be surprised if we see Psyche get the 4-staff component of it first.
I think so. I was thinking the same thing, to be honest.
I wouldn't mind it, especially on a Deuce. You do stuff with the mana, it feels good.
He just needs to have as much damage as possible. He needs to not get linked and needs to not get breathe fired.
Yep.
It's tough for him. It really is.
Yeah, Toronto's going to be trying to get that Lotus on for him. Definitely going to be another way to deal with the big threats from Falcons.
That's optimistic. You know, it's quite expensive, so it does mean that they want to play for just slowing down the pace much more. They do have a lineup that can slow things down with ET overall on the high ground and everything, but
I mean, that's the thing right now. Falcons, they have this 14k lead, but we've not really seen them show any indication of trying to hit the high ground yet.
They probably don't. I mean, maybe they just don't feel that pressure because it is a 4 protect 1 at this point on the side of BBT.
And stop, Skeeter. Another quick jump and quick kill. They get save. GPK this time round should be far enough away to make it out without any interruption.
Yeah, I think that they're not afraid about this Medusa. Just because they do have this triple scaling cores. And the supports, as we said, you know, they're likely to get the 5 of the top 6 net worths. Mirana has now surpassed the Storm and surpassed the Doom. That's the 5 position.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing as well, right? Mirana and Hoodwink, these supports
scale.
both do incredible scaling physical damage output.
And you can imagine that Snaking's going to go, perhaps going to start being able to spill down that way. Level 15's been hit. He's got the leap attack speed. You can never really write off these damaging supports with Solar Flare.
I see Falcons. I mean, the question is this the lineup from Falcons that you expect to see look towards the Roshan pit anytime soon? Or
I think the world's their oyster. I think they can kind of do whatever they want right now, just in terms of map control, because they have vision as well that's been very sneaky. I have to commend Snaking, because I've seen, I think, 3 or 4 wards now in the last 2 games that we haven't seen too many throughout this tournament, so they're just keeping tabs of BBT nicely, so I think they can pick and choose what they want to do. Now that it's shifted top, they're probably going to go for this Roche. But yeah, they just have options open.
And incredibly unlikely that BB team's going to even attempt to make any moves over there. They'll just try and take the most out of the fact of the map being left vacant by Falcons, spending time in the pit.
Yeah, they're just trying to finish up one of these next few items, these next things to amplify and buff up the Deuce. But Falcons gonna accelerate things massively here in these next few moments.
They will. This is definitely going to be the key for them to, if they want to, break the high ground. They get the Aegis, they've got the full Crimson now on top of the pipe on Amar. They're ready to go.
Yeah, I have to keep checking all these couriers because everybody just is so rich. They're getting so many of these. Yeah, Gem now on Snake 2 to control vision.
And yeah, GPK's got his BKB, and yeah, I like this. Ags queued
Straight
up
to
next.
Ags. He needs it. I mean, he needs to just play. They're playing for Protect 1. He is not a carry at this point. It is all about the Medusa's game.
And the Ags is going to be big because there is that huge
It's far,
combo
though.
combo.
It's very far,
I mean, it is
though.
very far. They need a good sort of, 5 or 6 more minutes of this game. And obviously with this 4 minutes on the Aegis from Falcons, highly likely that Falcons might get a lot done in this upcoming 4 minutes.
Yeah, they've got the lanes pushed into. They've got mid and top pushed out, and they have this ward bottom that's been watching Saika the entire time farming. See where they look to hit.
Still a tier 2 to take down on the bottom lane for Falcons.
Imagine that's probably where they're going to end to go now next. As Amar, a Crimson Guard now also. So talking about all these damage mitigations and stuff like that for Medusa, her damage is not that explosive, especially not to Crimson right now. It's all about that next item. They're going to look for a smoke. They're going to try to be sneaky here.
This is risky, especially if it's going to be Skeeter that kind of catches the brunt of the attack with the Aegis on him. What do BB team want to do about this? They've got eyes on Skeeter.
They lose their ward, so not going to be able to see the back lines. They're going to look for
It's a deep wrap
very
around
deep
here.
wrap.
Can Toronto, Tokyo, or GPK find some sort of setup? They go, again, Skeeter's not the one they want first.
Dire's middle tower is under
Timer's ticking, the smoke running out. It's kind of
Hey,
awkward
Falcons,
now for BB team.
They see the mid lane pushing in. The fact that nobody's showing there, they know that there's this move happening.
Amar
Amar
ready
just
to
jumps
scout
in.
this out. They're going to try and go on him. They're going to drop the Doom down, see if they can kill off the Centaur. It's a lot of damage. It should be enough. They've got him. Can they get anything more, though? Mira's been jumped in response.
Saika's in
Falcons
trouble.
able to take him out. Yeah, Saika taking huge amounts of damage, but they get the chase down onto Snaking. They found a second. Marin's got to break away, keep his distance.
They got a gem. This is pretty big so far.
But the Toronto Tokyo's going to get caught on the way out. So the gem will return into the hands of Falcons. It's not a bad effort
not bad
there
at
from
all.
BB team. They choose to fight into the Aegis, and they do get a 2-for-2 trade. Which, when you're down as far as they are right now in the net worth, you probably take that.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, they were able
Yeah.
to get this. The Stone Gaze in particular kind of stopped Malrine from being able to full commit onto this Medusa, so not bad. One step of many. I mean, you're still at a huge deficit, of course, but you're going to get a big kill, big surge of experience from taking out this level 18 Centaur.
And it did look risky at the start. I mean, we saw sort of how quickly Saika's mana pool just got shredded by the damage output
I think
coming
he got,
in.
Did he get like I think he had either a big snake or somebody passed him like a Lotus or something, because he got a pretty decent restore afterwards. Maybe it was the Greaves. Didn't quite get to see. Best fight we've seen from them so far in this series, let's be honest with you. Get a 2 trade here, and level 20 now up on the Dusa. Good experience. So the Stone Gaze duration is actually pretty relevant now.
And we are seeing, this time round, if they get the jump onto Amar, they can kill this Centaur.
You have to use everything.
Sure, it takes a lot, but it's proving to not be the worst way to start a fight.
But now cooldowns, 40 seconds on Doom. BBT is quite cooldown reliant to be able to pop those heroes, so Falcons looking to take advantage of those now for the moment. But BBT, as soon as those cooldowns are up again, they could look to go for this fight if they can find a nice type of wraparound like that again. Of course, they lost their vision, and they were not able to recover that gem. But if they can get vision down, if they can look for these type of flank rounds, if they can throw the kitchen sink onto one target, they can kill them.
is under
Well, next fight round, Skeeter, especially taking this tower down, should have the money to get the AC out to him. But only a minute or so left on the Aegis.
They actually still have this ward on the high ground
Dire's
around the
top
triangle, so
has fallen.
sneaky little placement.
Radiant's top tower is
Could be
under
important for them to get a wrap. Skeeter, though, accelerating things more. As you said, 60 seconds on this Aegis, wants to force as much as possible.
Yeah, AC on the courier. They're going to try for the jump mirror, looking for the backline. He gives easy
Stampede.
Don't get the Doom out, but indeed the Stampede was already there. They just turn and tear through Miro.
Oh, no.
He's out for 50.
That is not the initiation they wanted at all.
And the push now, it will continue from Falcon. Skeeter. He's going to look for the jump in. He's able to get the Dragon Tail, so they're trying to use the cookie to keep Toronto Tokyo safe. They'll be able to keep him alive. Now GPK in with the turn, gets the Vortex back onto Skeeter. Syke, has he got enough damage to take him down once they have?
That's the Aegis.
The Aegis gone.
Radiant's
Having to do this 4 versus 5 though, BB team. Still 30 seconds without Miro, and even when he's up, they don't have the Doom.
They still have the other ults, though. Stone Gaze plus Kisses plus ET Splitter is at the ready. Falcons, they will respect it. Back up, finish off the Satanic for the Razor, and take out that ward that was placed there from earlier. They knew because of the way the Miro jumped that some type of vision was there, even though it wasn't the greatest type of initiation ever. And now no Doom, 80 seconds when they do respawn. Saika has found that one damage item, though, on his way toward the next. Is the top net worth?
Work in secret.
I mean, without a doubt, considering how far they are behind in net worth, they're still definitely giving quite the fight here, BB team.
Yeah, especially when it comes to these high ground pushes. That's pretty much where they thrive, if they can get some type of dream connection with these stone gaze and stuff like that. But again, gotta keep reiterating, looking at the net worth, it really is just the Deuce versus the world, and those two supports about to surpass the mid and the offlane, even Crit. He's starting to get scaling items too. The Atos, the Gleipnir, it's starting to get queued up onto this Hoodwink as well. Snaking also has a BKB on this Mirana soon.
And Tormentor once again. There's going to be Falcons.
Skitter gets a freebie.
Are scanning.
GPK halfway towards the Aghanims.
Attack. Dire's
Getting closer and closer. It's all about that big wombo combo. If they can just have them all inside. I mean, it's going to have to just be some type of stone gaze that catches onto 3-4 heroes for him to do the damage still. Gold lead continues to grow.
Saika should have the full Daedalus ready for the next defense. 100 gold away, and pretty much going to have it with this next wave as he pushes out.
And how close is Tokyo to his Lotus? Okay, still a bit away, but if they can even get some type of Lotus play onto a Link, it could be huge. Still needs some time, of course, but...
Oh, amplified damage rune in the bottle, full Marine on the next push forward, and as you say, with the Satanic on top of the BKB, they've got multiple ways that they can absolutely charge in onto the high ground, and BB team, they're going to have so many kind of threats to deal with. Their team fight execution has to be completely flawless from BB team at this point on the defense.
They have to pop a target almost instantly with the Doom, and then they have to play this kind of 4v5 scenario and hope that this Medusa can get these good positioning for the Stone Gaze and everything. They're playing around this high ground again, so looking to perhaps catch Falcons off guard.
I mean, do you think, is it a bit of a surprise or a concern for Falcons that because of the support build, they don't have anything like a Lotus to try and deal with the threat of the Doom? Or does that not matter? Or is that a part of the game where the greed could hit them a little bit hard?
I think that they're probably just feeling comfortable because they know how much gold that they're getting on the map. You know that BBT's just been trapped inside the base for the majority of the time, so they probably just think they can outscale, but maybe we will see at least one of those picked up.
GPK is going to be able to poke at the BKB from snaking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the full Lotus done on BB team side of things. Toronto Tokyo is going to have that ready to play in the next team fight. He can get that down onto Saika. Should be able to really enable this Medusa to get a lot done in the team fight.
This is sneaky. Someone has to be careful. They're going to show. Rax dies super fast at this AC. But no more creeps. So it's just a range Rax that gets taken out.
And they can hold back. Wait for the next Roche if they want to.
I just keep checking Saika's items, just waiting to see what and when he's going to queue up the potential rapier. Doesn't need it just yet. The Scotty's going to be very effective versus the enemy lineup too, if he's able to get it, if they can keep slowing things down.
Let's have a look here. Roshan. It's going to be a shorter respawn. 45 seconds until it's back up. Miro farming pretty deep down here. Unlikely to get found by Falcons.
The safest place is the scariest place at this point for them. They have to take these type of risks to find any farm on the map.
The question is, if BB team, do you think they feel strong enough to try and tackle the next Roche fight?
That feels a bit dangerous because you don't really have vision. If they could have gotten a ward out there perhaps beforehand, then maybe, but I think going out there blind is quite a risk because that's you're making the call that this could be our last fight.
Sure. And I think as you say, the high ground
Their high ground is strong.
It is indeed where they're feeling pretty good, and they dealt with the Aegis push last time around. Sure, at the end of it all, they still ended up losing a melee Rax. But again, considering how far Falcons are ahead, and that's all they got with this lead and with that Aegis push, I think, yeah, BB team's going to be telling themselves, let's just wait for them to come to us. Just wait for high ground.
Yeah, you kind of have to at this point. You have to play for them like around these type of cluttered areas where you can potentially land like a 3-man splitter or something with these pulls, and they do want to buy time, like you were mentioning, until GPK does have this Aghanims finished, and he is very close, right? He's 500 away from it, so if they can get like the perfect synergy of everything just combining together, maybe there's still that chance for this Medusa. It's still a tall task, but she is the top net worth, which is all important.
Yeah, pretty impressive that amongst all the chaos, Saika's been able to stay at that position.
Only one death. And somehow also GPK has stopped dying, right? I think it was, when was the last time actually that he did die? I don't know. It's been felt like, what, 16 minutes or something since he's died? Can't really remember the exact timing, but he had 9 deaths pretty early in this game, and he has stopped at the least on that. They're going to buy out. So Saika does spend the gold to get the BKB. They spend all their gold.
Okay. It's going to be a hard high ground siege for Falcons, and which is a funny thing to say when they have this much lead in gold, and they should have this next stages. They're going to start on the Roshan. BB team looks like they do want to try and take the fight out here.
Okay, I mean, they spent their gold for it. Falcons do stop hitting that Roche for a moment. They also spent quite a bit of their gold, if I'm not mistaken. I saw Mari did finish up a BKB before everything. Now they're going to start continue threatening it. It dies fast.
BB team, I don't think they're going to feel they can swing across, especially taking the Watcher. They know that Falcons knows that they would be coming over towards this part of the map. So it looks like if anything, they may consider setting up around this high ground and try and catch them before they make it to the base.
This is a risky move if they do go for it, though, because they don't know exactly that there maybe is no vision there. There could be like some sneaky ward. Let's see if they do look for the jump. I mean, GPK, he's got the Arcane Rune. He wants to get some type of dream 3-4-man pull.
It's risky.
It's
BB
very
team.
risky. And they'll show the illusion. So now at this point, Falcons, they already were playing careful. Look at them playing on the top side. They were avoiding that walk up the hill anyway.
I mean, they're still holding on here. Just in case Falcons let anyone drift away up to the high ground on their own.
They're waiting for someone to show on the map and then potentially maybe look to catch if they see them split up.
I mean, maybe it's also just the threat of them being there, right? They know that it's unlikely Falcons are going to walk into a bad fight, but they also know that if BB team are sat on this high ground, they reveal it with the illusions, Falcons, they're not going to immediately come in with a push on this top lane.
Yeah, I mean, they can just go back and finish up these next few items because they are getting closer to some big ones. I mean, I've been waiting for Crit to reveal which one he goes for, by the way, because he's had the Gleipnir queued up for quite some time, but hasn't quite committed for it if we do want to see like a defensive one for him. And the Rapier does get queued up from Psycha, so he is still feeling like he does need that explosive carry potential.
Medusa with a Rapier, this game does sound kind of terrifying.
Pretty spicy. Especially if he's able to hit 25. If we're able to see that split shot use modifiers with the Daedalus and Rapier, definitely still that chance.
I mean, still though, Falcons, they seem very relaxed.
They do. They seem very comfortable with just waiting to go for the later stages. BBT playing around this vision.
Do they want to jump Skeeter? GPK's thinking about it.
Oh, GPK got a timeless relic also, by the way. So he pretty much got the best things he could have gotten for the situation that they're put in.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. I mean, with the timeless relic, right, you're pretty much guaranteed to have enough time with the vortexes to set up for the Elder Titan to get in position. The Stone Gaze as well, these stomps, Earth Splitters. It's a lot of wombo combo potential from BB team, but they have to land it perfectly because of how far ahead Falcons are.
Marine, Refresher has been purchased, so insane amount of damage now on this Razor. GPK, jump on two.
They're going to the vortex onto the two. Skeeter's in with the jump. The Dragon Tail starts straight away to GPK. GPK's going to the BKB off. He zips away. GPK survives.
Psycha's stunned, though. The arrow connected on him.
The sharpshooter comes in as well. Lotus has been thrown down upon him. They'll cook him out to the side. Mira's going to make the jump in over towards the Razor. Gets the Doom down onto him. Amar leading forward. Psycha trying to stand his ground and fight back. He's doing a lot of damage here on the Medusa. Staking down low. Can't stick around any longer, though. The BKB's about to wear off.
He's running low on mana.
Ogre Seal totems away.
Psycha.
Falcons, they're going to look to certainly chase it. The plasma field won't catch on, and they don't want to throw themselves into the high ground yet, so Psycha will get them space to head back.
He's stunned again,
GPK, he's not going to get the same chance, though. The stun into the silence, they've caught it, the cookie, he's not going to save him.
The Orchid Bird, it's too much.
70 seconds, no buyback on GPK.
They used absolutely everything there to kill a target. They didn't kill anybody on the side of Falcons. Able to reset, sustain. Refresher still at the ready for Malrine, so he can use it if he wants to, and he still has his Eyes of Storm ready in 5 seconds or so.
Yeah, still 2 minutes left on the Aegis for Skeeter. The push coming in once more. Tier 3 down in the mid lane. Skeeter. I'm going to look to lean onto Psycha, though. She used the cookie.
They used the cookie on the illusion.
They've got the force back onto Psycha. We'll keep him at a safe distance from Falcons.
Well, that was a risky cookie. Got to save those to be able to reposition the Deuce as much as possible. But it will push Falcons at least back for the moment. But DK Dragonform's about to be ready again. They've almost got BKBs at the ready on the Razor as well. And Doom is going to be on cooldown for 50 seconds. Falcons will back up, look to farm up a little bit more. They're content with keeping this one going. It feels like they know that they've got this scaling going. Even though in that last fight too, the link was actually reflected from the Lotus Orb. You could see that it still wasn't enough for BBT to look to turn to fight with this Medusa.
And Falcons there, ready and set up in case BB team do start to try and look for these sneaky smoke plays coming out of the base.
And they've got everything at the ready. Gleipnir now finished up onto the Hoodwink, so we see GPK fall into the bottom 3.
Snake King's ready to start work on his Satanic.
Oh, well, look. That'll be a pretty interesting one for him, but sure, why not? And the push commences. Doom, 5 seconds until it does come back up. BKB's at the ready on the side of
He's
Falcons.
in with the jump. Straight away going to start off the action on Will Psycho. They get the silence in as well. Quick Manta to remove it. Illusions will block the arrow. Falcons, they'll hold back. So full Bloodthorn next time round. That Skeeter's going to be ready to slam down on these heroes.
He's just trying to force this type of reaction. If they can force the Medusa to use a BKB, then Psycho just... It's very difficult for him to fight.
I mean, if BB Team can hold on for just a few more waves coming in, Psycho is going to get very close to this Divine Rapier dream.
He needs both timings, though. I think he needs the Rapier and that 25, it does feel like. Yes, he's going to be able to do decent damage single when he's got that Rapier, if he does get it, but... Feels like he does need that explosive damage on everybody. Because it really is him versus the world.
Well, check the time. Tormentor's up again.
Perfect timing. And Aegis reclaimed, so Skeeter doesn't even lose HP during it. As I think Snaking did commit for it.
Oh, he did.
I think he committed for the Satanic.
He's getting that Satanic online.
Not too often you see these supports get it. I think the last time I saw support get a Satanic was like a Hoodwink, I think, getting one in some crazy game. I think it was Boxy at some point in some tournament, but this is not something you see too often. But he's wanting to scale. Again, level 20's been hit now for him too. So that crit is online. And same thing for, I mean, crit as well too. He is online, so pretty much 5 cores that Falcons have been able to build up.
Yeah, 30k lead pretty much coming up on the numbers here from Falcons. They're enjoying this.
The Rapier's purchased, Owen.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I mean, can Psycho turn this game around? Here, on the TI main stage, it's where it counts the most. The BB Team, they've never been able to take a series against Falcons.
Can you imagine if this will be the way that they do it, off of a Rapier purchase?
Or this may just be the end of the game.
We're going to find out. We'll have to see.
The smoke's coming out. They're ready for the setup. Skeeter's out with the blink. GPK.
Done too.
He's going to get the opening here. Straight on the race. They're going to lay down the Doom as well. Snaking, he gets shredded completely. They're able to take down Omar as well. Now they can look over towards Maureen. It's a great start to the comeback here. Potential from BB Team. As they storm outside of the base, they take out 3 heroes. They're dead for a long time, folks.
They are. I mean, GPK found the perfect 2 targets, and they got the Doom onto Maureen. The ideal situation for them.
Oh.
And level 25, it's about to hit as well.
I mean, you know, for the sake of the pubs out there and support Morana's farming Satanics, you know, maybe it will be a good thing if a comeback does happen. Can they do it with this Rapier Medusa? And the 25, as you say, he's basically got it.
Basically, the important thing is, too, now at this point, when you're able to get these type of kills, these sequences,
check this out again.
Their respawns are long, so Doom and everything comes back up as they respawn.
And as we're saying here, you know, if they don't deal with the Medusa, Psycho, he'll kill them. They will all die.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the perfect jump. You couldn't ask for a better one there from GPK or from Miero. Even though there's that 22,000 lead.
I mean, could
it got the damage on the Medusa.
Yeah, Falcons, maybe they were just a little too relaxed this game. Because BB Team, they're getting the chance to get back into it, absolutely, around this Medusa. And in a style, as you say, that just hasn't been doing too well. The 4 protect 1.
But look at the itemization that they've gone for too with it, right? It's a Vlad's also on save. It's everything about throwing onto Psych at this point. What is GPK queuing? I'm almost like thinking like, can he just go down like a refresher route on the Storm? It feels like a double pull. Yep. All he really has to do is set up for the Doom or for this Medusa to get in position to get these type of plays. He's got the damage. Miero, he does have a refresher also finished up too, so they will have that secondary round of them. And so far, I'm just clicking around. No Lincolns, no Lotuses purchased for the side of Falcons. And I'm clicking on Snaking, and I'm seeing the Satanic.
He's getting a Hurricane Pike. At least he's getting a Hurricane. Yeah, but it gives you 4 stuff. It's going to help a little bit.
I definitely feel like that Satanic could have been like a Lincoln's for him, because it feels very greedy from him in particular. But
I mean, let's see. Maybe
how the next fight
Falcons are able to just end the game now, as they're coming in with the smoke. And of course, being a 4 protect 1, if they kill this Medusa, it should be game over. He does have buyback available, but of course that will be without that Rapier.
But Falcons, they're the ones wanting to start a fight, because if BBT is able to just get the starting of the fights a lot of times, they can delete heroes.
Well, BB Team.
They're reading the movement.
And a bit of a spooky location here.
They've got a...
Falcons might not quite expect.
They saw the ward placed in their base. They have a sentry down, so they saw that Falcons were sneaking.
They're going to try and jump Maureen. Then straight away, they get the Doom down onto Maureen. He's getting shredded. The car comes in with the car. He's ready to wheel Maureen back out to safety. Amar with the Aghanim save. Now they're ready for the turn here, Falcons. They go straight towards Miero. They take down the Doom, but Psycho, he'll take Snaking out in return.
Miero spent his gold.
They're going straight for them now with the Stampede. They're ready to get back in onto them. Skeeter gets in with the jump. The Drake's out the cookie. Gets Psycho up to the high ground. They'll be able to tear Psycho away back to safety. GPK pops the BKB. The ball lightning back up to the high ground. The cores survive. The 2 of them. It's just Miro that's out for 55.
He spent the gold for that refresher, and he gets caught on the front line of everything there.
And we've got to look out for more players like this. Amar with the workhorse, with that cart. He's ready to bail them out. And if that wasn't there, if he wasn't ready, Marine was absolutely dead.
I mean, he tried for... I actually didn't even see in the last fight, I'll be completely honest. I was wondering what happened with Marine, why he was like ghost farming the bottom one. But yeah, it was that Aghanims this time. It does play it safe to be able to get the reset from the Doom. Roshan in 40 seconds. Doom will be respawning in time, and he will have... Okay, he won't have the double Doom. He'll
check
never
this out
want it
again.
ready.
And see how quick they are to jump. But Marine, he knows that Amar's ready to back him up. I mean, indeed, without that there, he was absolutely dead.
Very quick reaction. Toronto Tokyo in a dangerous position right now here. Amar. Whoa, he found him.
Oh, he's in with the stun.
They got the two supports.
And there's nobody to get Toronto Tokyo out of this. Toronto Tokyo's gone. Saika's going to try and fight back. GPK's in with the zip. He's going to lift, get the ground, get the vortex onto the two of them. Jump forward as well from Miro. They're taking crit out. That comes in. But Miro is safe. They're ready to continue chasing. Amar trying to drag Marine out of the fight and will succeed. Gets him away from BB Team. Both teams dropping the buybacks here. Saving Toronto Tokyo for BB Team and Crit with the one from Falcons side of things.
Oh, and this card is doing wonders. And it's got such a low cooldown. It's back up in 10 seconds. Every single time he can actually use this to bail Malrine out.
Someone's got to find Amar.
They really do. Malrine, he's got the BKB back up also. Level 25 has been hit on the DK. Lots of buybacks used. These supports have to be careful. The arrow will scout.
Stone Gaze is up.
Saika in the front lines.
They're going to get the jump on him. Dragon Tail into the bloodthorn. They need back up. The vortex comes in, but Saika's fully low. Can he get the snake out? The man has gone. Saika's
He's in trouble.
He pops the BKB, tries to stand his ground, starts to attack back over towards Amar. The damage is done.
Saika's still alive.
He's surviving and falls out to the side. Turn towards Skeeter.
He's still alive.
They're going to get 4. It's snaking against the world, and he's not going to succeed.
Oh my goodness.
For Saika BB Team. They're turning the game around, Fogged.
He was out of mana early in the fight, but he was able to stand the ground. They get the connection. The Stone Gaze connects. Oh my goodness, this game is delivering.
And into the Roche pit.
Aegis,
they're going to be
Aghanims.
So much money on Syker as well. He's still got a lot of options for what he wants to pick up next. But we'll see this. They absolutely felt here, Falcons, that they had him. You see the mana drop it slow. But Syker, they couldn't quite do the damage beyond his mana pool. He keeps his distance, stands his ground as well, attacking back onto Amar. What a fight.
Unbelievable. Insane stuff. Just little mini, I mean, maybe just butterfly evasion and stuff coming into play. Every little possible small thing keeping Saika alive. Falcons starting to feel a bit of that pressure after having a 30,000 gold lead.
I mean, there was always a sense that this could be coming, but with BB Team, they've just never really done something like this before.
No, this is super impressive for Saika in particular. And also have to give a lot of credit to GPK. This man had 9 deaths in the game. Yep. He's got 10 now, but the pulls he's been able to get, the jumps, they've been crucial for this comeback.
It really feels like all the times in the past in which BB Team have tilted out of rough games, they've just been saving it up for today, Fogged, where it counts the most.
And now they've got Banner too. This Rax in jeopardy. And these long respawns, Doom's coming back up. Everything's coming back up for BBT. You couldn't bring down this Medusa once, and now versus Aegis, the gold lead has gone to 0.
Incredible stuff here. And yeah, Falcons. What would you imagine is the vibe from their side of things right now? Like, what are they saying? What are they doing? This is a completely new position for them to really be forced into.
They probably just felt like they were comfortable with the multi-scale because of how much Crit was farming, because of how much Snay was farming, because of everybody. But now I'm looking at the itemization. They're like, we need to get ways to prevent this Medusa from attacking or prevent something. I see Snay's queued up like a halberd, but these items maybe are coming after the fact that they needed them. These Dooms have been hitting. The Stone Gazes are connecting, and now it's a Swift Blink. So positioning for Saika, it's always going to be there.
Dire are scanning.
Feeling like this Medusa now has the advantage in the game. And the positioning overall, BBT, they've been able to get these beautiful jumps over and over again.
Saika's in.
Somehow hit level 25 throughout all this.
Gonna try with a jump.
Tower has fallen.
And with this Aegis, I mean, we saw how much they struggled to take him down once in a team fight.
He's high-fiving him.
They're gonna get the jump again.
It's a good link.
And the static link. This should be the Aegis gone.
Uh-oh.
But you've got to imagine this was part of the plan, because they just presented the Medusa up. Let's see what the backup is here from BB2. They're going to jump.
The stun
is there immediately. Hold the two of them. They'll try cooking Saika out to the side, but
Saika's going down.
The rapier hits the deck. Falcons, they'll defend, and they're ready to kill off more as they look towards save. Tried to hide with the glimmer, but they
snaking.
Oh, I mean, he's the one with the satanic. He's like, guys, I didn't farm the satanic for nothing. Give me the rapier.
Oh, man. It looks like they were putting him out there on a silver platter, but it seemed like they had an idea to play around it. But now, Doom dead 70, Snap gone.
Yeah, I would say these incredible 20,000 gold swings in these fights.
After making such an unbelievable comeback throughout the majority of this game, it takes one mistake.
Oh, no. Maybe the BB team of old is still within them.
Oh, Falcons.
They were so close to turning this around, but it's just been completely redeemed there by that successful defense from Falcons.
And you can look at like kind of how it all plays out is Saika has to swap the BKB in, right? Because the Aegis is getting reclaimed. He has to swap in it. It wasn't up, so he actually just gets hit by the first stun.
Yeah, instant
followed
stun.
up from the chain stun, and they're able to connect absolutely everything, and he can't get anything off before they get all those spells onto him.
Well, there we go. Let's see if they can hold now without the rapier on the Medusa. Now things are going to get back to being very, very hard for BB team.
Especially because now even snaking with a rapier, his damage is also pretty absurd.
Middle barracks.
And now these Raxes, the final set. 15 seconds, no Doom.
I mean, this genuinely could have been the plan all along for snaking. It's like, I'm just going to get satanic, they're going to get rapier, they're going to lose the rapier, and I'm going to take it for myself.
He wishes. Imagine having that much foresight. That'd be pretty impressive. Skitter, the final Rax. There's no glyph. You got to go soon, BBT.
GPK a little slow with the jump there. They get the range racks, the melee racks, they're out. Same time, that creeps out pushing in top, BB team. So Falcons, they'll have to head back and deal with that one. The game will go on 52 minutes in now. But BB team, can they get that sort of swing back again this game? It's going to require another rapier.
It's going to require another rapier, exactly what I was about to say.
I mean, Psycho should be able to farm that out pretty quickly, but it depends how much time Falcons give BB team in these moments.
What's he going to sell? I mean, maybe you just sell something. Maybe sell your like Manta or something just to be able to get it.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to have to open up an inventory slot.
Sure.
But we'll see. Back up to the 30,000 gold lead very quickly, of course, as you were mentioning from that fight swing.
Look at that. It's as if the comeback never happened, really.
Mm-hmm. They did get They did get almost 2 full sets of racks at the least, so some momentum pushing out of the lanes slightly, but it's just this range racks now left top for the side of Falcons. And Psycho, yeah, he needs the rapier. So yeah, sells the Manta.
Okay. That's pretty much
has it gone.
400 gold.
400 gold.
Radiant.
So there should be, well, there will be a second rapier thrown into the mix this game. There it is.
He has to get the BKBs off, though. They have to still get he still needs all this defensive capability. If he gets caught from an initial stun, I still have massive concerns for this Medusa.
Yeah, they've proven that they've been able to burst through him.
Yeah. And also the team just needs to be Closer. Let's be real here. That last fight, they put him out so far. They were, what, 2,000 range away.
It looked a bit rough. It looked like losing the Aegis was kind of like part of the plan, but then it seemed to play out like there was no plan at all.
Smoke up, Miro. Oh, Ninja Gear.
Look at the jump. Look at the throw the dude down. I mean, it's not a bad target. They get rid of Amar. They get rid of his workhorse car. There's no save.
I mean, if Snay has to be cautious with his positioning, too, on this Mirana, he is very important in this game. If he gives up a rapier, too, the game could just swing back and forth constantly. That's going to be their cruise. That's going to be the key target, though, they have to go for. I think the Doom just has to be thrown onto Amar in every single one of these situations. At least one of them. Otherwise, he's just going to stampede, Workhorse out one of the boys. So if they can keep playing around those visions, getting that type of Doom, then they still got a fighting chance for this Medusa.
Sure. And Toronto Toka's going to be able to enable a lot, like with this Ags, and now going for the AC.
True. He's actually starting to get some scaling.
He's
got the 20 talent. Gone are the days, though, of ET being able to just jump in a lot of the times and be able to do that constant briefcasing. But if he's able to get the AC and match, maybe there's that chance, too, for him.
If you can get the AC, and if you can get that rapier maybe from snaking, you know, you never know. This ET could be going far.
Look at Maori and telling them, come high ground, because that was where the blunder definitely did happen before. Other thing to point out, Crit Wind Waker is finished up, so other ways to prevent Doom. So now you have to look for quite a few different targets to at least focus fire. The initiations are going to still be, it's kind of been the most important thing for the side of BBT throughout most of this game, but yeah, even more so than ever. Looking for this annoying Hoodwink, looking for this Centaur with one of the Dooms.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I'd still imagine overall Amar's going to be the key target.
Yeah, absolutely.
You take him out of the fight, it's absolutely huge, because his saves have been crucial.
Yeah. And I'm wondering to see if maybe he does cue something like a Lincoln's himself. He does have the gold soon for it on Amar. He can consume that Aghanims and then go for it afterwards, so yeah, we'll see. There's still a lot of item growth that can come through at both sides in this game.
Smoke time from Falcons. They're ready to go again. Both teams very close to the point where one successful team fight could draw out the finale of this game.
How much buybacks are there? Or how many are there? It looks like Falcons has the majority. The 2 supports don't have it, but the 3 cores do. While on the side of BBT, they kind of have to go all in for most of them here. GPK can play around it, but the rest of them do have to spend their gold, it feels. And Roche, how long is it going to be? It's a fast one, 20 seconds.
And at this point, I'd imagine, has it fallen back to the point where BB team probably don't want to fight around the pit? You know, sure, maybe take a fight outside of the base, but not actually in the pit? Or do you think now, back with another Rapier on the Medusa, they could actually look to go fully aggressive?
It's total chaos at this point. I think you can any fight that you can take if you have vision is important for BBT. So if they can get vision down there, then perhaps, yeah, look for that fight. Miro has also hit 25, so the mute is online. It's a big power spike for them on top of everything.
Absolutely. Whoever he gets the Doom down onto, as long as Psycho's able to follow up, get his BKB off and get the hits in, they will kill. Unless, of course, the jump isn't made indeed onto the Centaur.
So we'll have to see if they do get the connections.
And as you say, the Wind Waker also another option for Falcons to counterplay the jump from BB team.
And yeah, I think you'd said it before, but Maori does have Lincolns finally, so they do have at least one of the blocking. And they can purchase a couple more. I remember they have like 7,000 gold on several different heroes.
Yeah, I'd say if anything, Maorian's probably got to look out to get that Lincoln's thrown onto Amar, if Amar's the one being targeted first.
I mean, he can do fancy stuff, right? Yeah. You can Lincolns, you can pop Refresher and block, or send another one and stuff like that. This Roche, it dies too fast, they can't contest. And difficult for them to come out there now at this point when Falcons has the vision too. 57 minutes, we could be approaching toward this 60-minute mark also.
Indeed, and yeah, you can only imagine the potential there. Something like a Mirror Shield coming out for Psycho. Or...
I mean, explosive damage can come into these Apexes and Stygians. They're nothing to laugh at this point in the game. Falcons, though, with this Aegis. See where they look to go.
Let's see. BB team. The remainder of the smoke.
You just have to. They have to just literally play around vision. If they see an occasion where they can get a multi-hero pull, that's where they kind of just have to take it. Even if they're playing into Aegis, I think they have to seize any opportunity they can get where they get multiple heroes inside this vortex from GPK. Even if it's risky, you don't want Falcons to just get free setup onto high ground pushes.
Falcons.
Tense moments.
They're on their way. Sending in the illusions first, seeing if they can get any information out. BB team remaining completely hidden. Looking to fight underneath their ward setup here, BB team. Falcons, they're careful about how they approach this. They know that BB team's likely to be looking for this sort of play.
It's deep breaths from both sides here. It's patience.
Jump. They're getting the vortex opening and straight away over towards Skeeter. They're going to look to burst through the Dragon Knight. They've done so. He's out the once. Now they turn their attention over towards Amar, but Miro found the Doom target. Amar had to back off. He's trying to push on forward, but the Earth Spirit catches him. Maori trying to heal up here with the Satanic. Is it going to be enough to keep it alive against the 5 of them? It looks pretty good. They can't quite bring Maori down. They've got to start backing off. He's been caught by the Bloodthorn. Is there any way to break him out of this? They're going to try and get him back up the high ground, but they can't.
He's down for 2.
The Bushwhack catches him. He's out for 2 minutes. No buyback available on Psyker. This could be it for Falcons. They're pushing on. That was the fight that they were looking for.
Another catch.
20 seconds until Psyker can buy back. It's on cooldown. He has the money. Can they last 20 more seconds? GPK trying to buy them time in with the Vortex onto the 2 of them, but Maori and Skinner, they're looking to close it up. The fortification's there. 7 seconds until Psyker is back.
Can they push them off?
I mean, with these 2 Rapiers now on Falcon side, I think they push fast. Mirror's in with the Doom. GPK trying with it, but Amar's in with the save. He's going to get Skeeter into the car.
The throne's done.
He allows Skeeter to keep hitting the H and close the game up without any interruption. GG is called. Falcons, they'll do it 2-0, knocking BB team out once again.
This was one of the better recoveries I've seen.